Morning, everybody. First off, first and foremost, I just wanted to come say Happy New Year's. It's a new year, 2026. I will be dropping a video every day that I trade for this upcoming year. Happy New Year's. I hope y'all had a great time celebrating the New Year's with y'all self, with y'all family, with y'all friends. Today is January 6, 2026, 11:10 a.m. No trade. I did not take a trade yesterday on Monday, so I did not upload. I did not take a trade on Friday, so I did not upload. And we are here today on Tuesday. I did take a trade. Unfortunately, it was a loss today. And so I'm going to just go through and quickly break it down. So we zoom out to the 1 hour chart on NQ. We do trade the NASDAQ 100. If we come out to the 1 hour, we see that we have a ton of draws to the downside. We have our New York PM from Friday. We have our data lows from December, and we have some extra liquidity pulls to the downside, and all of these that I have unmarked, I should say. And we come here and we look to the upside for possible draws, and we have a few. We have New York AM from Friday as well. We have some draws from December that we see right here, but other than that, we don't really have any draws to the upside that we are close to tagging. And we come down to the 15 minute, and let me come down here to the 1 minute. So we open up, and looking at our draws, or not our draws, our different sessions, we see that during London, from New York PM to Asia to London, we kind of have this trickle up, and then we sold off 150 points. We are holding this 15-minute gap from overnight, from Monday. This 15-minute bullish gap has been respected multiple times. We see that it was created here, respected once, tagged again. So I just have this on my chart just in case we are, just to be aware of it, I should say. But coming into market open, I do realize that we have our draws to the downside. So I'm coming in looking towards the downside for potential shorts maybe. But we see a different thing when we come into market open, where we have these relative equal lows, and we just didn't come tag it. And so we see that market slowly starts trickling up. I potentially wanted to take a quick short off a 1 minute inverse if we were to come. Was it a 1 minute? Yeah, it was right here. If we were to come flip this 1 minute gap, I was potentially looking to come and short this down to these relative equal lows, and maybe the draws that we have lower, but we just failed to take out this 1 minute bullish gap that we put in place here. And so since that didn't happen, I waited till 8:45, let the first 15 minutes of market settle down, and we see that we create this 1 minute bullish gap that we have right here. And we also end up creating multiple 15 gaps that we leave right here. And so if we look at our chart here, let me actually just delete all of this. We see we have our first presented 15-minute gap right here that gets tagged into, and then we have our second presented that we have right here. And if we are to be looking for longs, then this is the gap that we need to be looking at to say, okay, this gap was respected, and then we can now flip our bias to looking for longs coming out of it towards our New York AM highs and our London highs that we have previously, which is what we have right here. We come down to the 5 as well, and it's the same thing. We have a 5 minute gap right here. We have this 5 minute gap right here, and then we have this 5-minute gap as well. So it's essentially the same thesis. If we are looking for longs, let it come back into this 515 and then see a strong rejection, and we just don't end up seeing that. And I was tempted to take longs up here, right about here, but we just ended up, what I wanted today was for us, once we created these equal highs up here, I wanted to see that this 1 minute bear gap was held so that we don't come out and take out these relative equal highs that we created in this box right here. I don't want to see us come take those relative equals out. I want to see us come back, tag into our 5 minute 15 bullish gap, and then see a strong rejection out of it, potentially inversing a 1 minute gap and taking a play like this to the upside with our stops to our swing low or even below the gap. But that just never happened, and we see that once we get up here and we take out these equal highs, we see that we kind of fail to see the bulls that are in the market. And so from there, what we're trying to do is now reevaluate and say, okay, do I want to be bearish into 15-minute gaps, into 5-minute gaps, and do I want to be shorting counter trend? And that's not really something I wanted to do. And so we come here, and in hindsight, now that we see that shorts did play out, we could have probably taken this for a super cheap trade, and we have it at a 13-point stop or a 20-point stop down to this first presented 15-minute gap that we originally had here. But once again, I just, without hindsight, you're just not trading into a bullish gap. So we're just waiting. We're waiting. We see this gap held. We come and we fill this 15-minute gap at what it was like around this area right here. And so it's like, okay, now we've inversed this second presented 15-minute bullish gap. We've inversed it at 677 at not 677, it'd actually be 670. And so now that we've established, okay, we flipped our second presented 15-minute gap at 670 right around here. Yeah, we're now going to reevaluate and say, okay, do I want to actually be looking for shorts now? And from there, even though we did see that this bullish gap was held, but I thought in live time, okay, we fully flipped this 15-minute gap, even though we did create this 1 minute bullish, and I probably should have waited for price to get underneath it for it to actually take a short. I was thinking, okay, we flipped the 15-minute bullish gap. All we need to do is wait for price to come back into it, tag it, and then reject out of it down to these relative equal lows that I had sitting down here. And I just didn't get the reaction that I wanted off of that. And so we see I took this trade at 10:15 at 671.5. We come down, we don't even end up flipping the gap. We tag 50% encroachment of it, and we see that we reject out of it, and we are now trending higher. It was a 24-point loss, so I'm not too upset about that. I wasn't looking for longs after we flipped this 15-minute gap, after we flipped the 5-minute gaps that were in between. Even though we did respect this first presented, it's just like, bears are showing strength to the downside. The bulls aren't really in control of the market. We never took out this New York aim high that we have at this 800 level. So a lot of these factors came into play, and it's like, okay, then I don't really want to be long after we flip this gap. So it's like, I'm going to take the play that I'm comfortable with, which was these shorts. It just didn't end up working out. We did take a loss today. We are down $7,900, almost $8,000 on our PAs. I did have some Apex evals that I did end up failing, which is a part of it. on those evals. I blew all of them, 30,000 down the drain. Not 30,000. Whatever I spent on the evals on these Apex evals down the drain. That's my recap for today. We will be back tomorrow. The price has been super lethargic as of recent. I thought price would have been jumping after we had this crazy melt from Friday where we could have taken this 1 minute inverse to the downside. I thought price would have started acting correctly now that we're out of holiday season and we're back to regular life, but price has been super slow, super choppy, super lethargic, and sometimes it's not a lot of volume, but it is what it is. That's my trade for today. I'm chilling. I'll be back tomorrow to trade. Hopefully we can get a dub. That's really all I have. I hope y'all caught a dub. Be safe. Peace out.